the Orchard and Rye are both Lacrosse brand seeds, so it's a solid brand. She's turned into a nice heifer calf. Hey, good morning. All right, Saturday morning, and I think we might actually be planting that hay field. Obviously, not all of it, but the vast majority of it. All right, so what we do is we're gonna hook up the green trailer, and then we're gonna throw the pallet of seed in the back. Because then we'll, as we stage stuff, or as we got to stop and load up, we got to mix our orchard and ryegrasses in with our oats. So we kind of got to measure it out, and once we do the first two, we kind of get the gist of it. Okay, so we are up on the field. The seeder is loaded. It's like one of our most frustrating things to set the seeder. Yeah, we got to check that. We got to check depth yet, because we think we planted our soybeans too deep, and we definitely don't want to plant this hayseed as deep as we did soybeans. See, even there, that seems a little bit too deep for us. And these are in the shallowest setting, so. Well, the grass seed is definitely dropping. Yeah, I don't know, that really didn't change anything, honestly. Then here's our roller. He's gonna get irritated. Yeah, see, that's too shallow here, but not over here. Whew, that is dusty. So what we're having is a problem with feathering our depth. We've got the press wheel set at the most shallow depth, and our biggest issue is that we have such loose soil. Just saw one post Dad destroyed. I've got a feeling he destroyed more than a couple. We are getting a little bit shallow on this side. You can tell where the track erasers go, right here and right over here. So, you know, kind of is what it is. This is what we try to avoid, but it's like in some spots, you know, it's not cutting in at all. But I mean, that's a very different type of soil right there. I don't even think he did much even with the disc. Like even right here, I don't know why those aren't digging in, but I think that might be more of a problem with the track eraser not scratching enough. We had set up the track erasers, we put a different hole in it so that it doesn't go down as far. I wonder if we have to put it back into that hole. I don't know. But where those track erasers are, it's not looking good. Okay, where are we at? Well, Dad's doing another lap. One lap was right on an acre. So one area we ran into an issue is that when you only put 2 acres of hayseed on the full length of the grass box, there's only like, you know, half an inch of seed in there, and you're not bouncing around enough for it to actually shake all the seed into the hole with the flat bottom of the seed box. So we had to put a couple acres worth in there. He's going to do another lap. Obviously should be just under an acre. And we think like the oats and grass, because we have orchard and ryegrass. Here is our ryegrass. So these are all the orchard and ryegrass are lacrosse seeds. So these are both, the orchard and rye are both lacrosse brand seeds, so it's a solid brand. So what we're doing is we're mixing our orchard and our rye in with the oats, and then trying to compensate the hole size or the feed rate for the extra bulk, the extra material. Dad's set up for 2 more laps. I'm heading back and getting something to drink for the 2 of us. We forgot to bring stuff out with us. All right, note to future us. Grass box, the black one, the small one, major rebuild. So there's so much slop in the adjustment. It's not even, it must not even be close to correct. So I got to get this tractor moved because Dad's coming. We've got him filled up with what should be 4 acres worth of stuff, which should get him quite a ways down the field, but we'll see. All right, so we're having a good old time. The seed rate for the grass seed, the clovers, and the timothy is going way faster than we needed to. And of course, the forage mix you could get from Fleet Farm, gal said they were out. And then there's a little town and country store that's like right around the corner. They just sold their last bag of timothy this morning. They have clovers, but they ran out of timothy, and they don't have any mixes with the timothy in it. And the mill is only open till like noon on Saturdays. So I'm gonna have to go find something between those 2 stores. We'll see what happens. Well, we are starting to get just a few drips, and we're only like half done. For whatever reason, it's just going slow. I'm not really sure why, but hopefully it is. If it's just a little drip here and there, it's not a huge deal. We can keep going. The ground is, I mean, it's dusty, it's dry on top. I went and grabbed a tarp. Luckily we had a brand new one, just to cover up all the seed, because it is still sprinkling out here. As you can tell, Dad is still rolling dust, but it is decreasing. If we can, as long as it doesn't rain any harder, in about 15 to 20 minutes it looks like, we should get a break, and then that's about an hour. So the biggest thing is, as long as it's still dusty, that means that the seed openers and everything aren't gonna plug up, and the roller's not gonna start plugging up. Because the roller does, if it's wet, the roller will start picking stuff up. We don't have a scraper on it. So, all right, let's hook this up and get down there so I can give Dad a sweatshirt, because I had to pick him up a sweatshirt too. I didn't have to, I just did. All right, looking at the radar, it does look like the heaviest rain. It did pick up just a tick, like right after I put the tarp on and actually shut off the camera. And it's like, oh, okay, now it picked up a little bit. But still rolling some dust. Stuff is a little moist. But it does actually, as this stuff's moving northeast, and that is southwest. So you can tell it is lightening up just a little bit compared to, say, like this area up here, like what's right above us, compared to like what's way over there that's like maybe 2 miles away. So, and the rain actually just started to lighten up too. So if we potentially have like an hour and it actually stops for a little while, we should be fine for if we have an hour. We had to go buy another bag of white clover. I think like I said, we got to go through that, the small seed box, and just kind of, there's some bushings in there that need to get replaced, and that needs to get rebuilt, because we set it to what we thought we needed to set it to, and it must have been seeding horrendously thick. So whatever. I think it's set now that we might be okay, but it might be a little light. I guess I'd rather, on Clover and Timothy, I'd rather be a little light. The rain could stop anytime now, because this is getting a little annoying. I should have grabbed myself a sweatshirt too, but I didn't have any time. But that bag of white clover, Bethany went and grabbed another bag of white clover. Fleet did not have the forage pasture mix, which sucks. But the little town and country store did, and that bag of just plain white clover was like $430. That's pricey. Okay, getting a little low on battery, but so we've moved around the corner. So if you can see how it kind of the field kind of jogs out, the grass jogs out right there. We were just right around that corner. So now we've come back here. This is the farthest, we're in the farthest east edge of this field, even a little bit farther east than where this field started out. We are really trying not to open that new bag of clover, and I don't think we're going to. When he gets up here, we'll probably put that Timothy. We have a little bit, maybe like 2 pounds of clover back in there, and we'll just spread that all out with a little bit more Timothy, and we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine. And then we'll take that $400 bag of clover seed back. All right, we just got back to the farm, finished the field. As I'm coming down the lane, it's starting to rain again, kind of like it was before, if not maybe just a tickle heavier. So just in time. Missed out on about, acre counter counted 15 acres and change. So we're probably pretty close. I mean, we know it's about a 16 acre field when we've done it before, and from the amount that we weren't able to do, we know it's in that 1.5, 2 at the absolute most acres that we weren't able to do. So probably closer to that 1.5 mark. All I gotta do is feed ground feed for today, and we're done. The cows are not bellowing yet. I think they have enough on there for a third day, which is good, and I will rotate them tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey, how's it going? It is Sunday afternoon. Did a little bit of family stuff this morning. I'm gonna do a little more family stuff this afternoon because it is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Special happy Father's Day to my dad. Yes, I did get him something. 1, cheap labor. But 2, yes, that's what we're doing this evening. We're gonna go hang out with Dad, with the family. Then did family stuff this morning with Bethany's dad. But we do have to move the cows. Cows got to get spun over to the yellow water. So the first thing I need to do is I got to go make sure the water and everything is all set up. We actually shut it off down to the yellow water after they came off that silver water that's still on that same line. So we want to make sure that that's all ready to go. I do have one like ribbon tape that's over by there that I know is broken and is down. I gotta fix that because it might be grounding out a little bit. So, but I'm gonna go do that first, and then I'm not sure if we're going to bed a little bit here for the steers or not. We'll see about that, but do have to feed, ground feed, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get going. So we are over at the yellow water, and it is already waterlogged, which is horrendous. But I do need to check the flow. So I did leave that turned off, and that's fine. I just gotta find it wherever it is. And it's funny because my aunt and uncle, they have bird boxes surrounding some of the fields, and there's one right there, and there's a family of, what is that, tree swallow? Yeah. And I'm getting dive bombed by them. I was down here working on this ribbon, and they were dive bombing me too. They're hilarious, but they're really good birds. They eat a lot of insects, so I definitely don't care that they're here. It's just funny. Okay, let's see. I know it's just right down here. Oh, yeah. All right, so now, yeah, she was full bore. We are a little bit high there. All right, flow looks good, and I set it so that the trip was just a little bit lower, so hopefully it doesn't fill up quite as much. All right, what size chunk are we gonna give them today? Okay, so we're heading for that little bit bigger tree right there compared to the rest of the stuff around it. That's my aim point. I actually saw the handle, so I'm heading in the right direction. Okay, this is going to be my corner that's going to angle back over to those yellow posts. So I'm going to double anchor it because this is what I would call an outside corner. Just in case they rub on it, I've got a backup. And then it is straight shot. I'm just going to walk it. I like walking it. I don't need my four-wheeler. Besides, I need the flipping exercise. All right. Not going to bring you along for the walk. You've seen enough already. So, I'll be right back. All right. So, today they chose not to be the calm, cool, collected crew. So, they've been running all over, and they just ran up into here. I'm glad the ribbon was up because they actually stopped. That is the number one reason I have that ribbon up. Just as an update, so this little calf right here, Barb just walked in. That's Barb's calf right there. Barb just walked in front of her. Like zero limp. Let's get a closer look, so I want to see what her foot looks like. This is the one that I treated with gave her some meds with the new dart gun the other day, and she's gonna, okay, she stopped. She has some brains. I don't want to push her too hard. I want to see her foot. She's turned into a nice heifer calf. She's definitely got some thickness to her. Come on, kiddo. I want to see her foot. And would you imagine that my Under Armour mesh shoes aren't waterproof? I mean, what the heck's up with that, right? There's just a little bit of swelling there. What I'm hoping, as long as it didn't like crack open, she's got like a wound or something like that, that would be kind of bad. But obviously we'll keep an eye on her. And now I've got a good appropriate tool to treat her with out here. Okay, so everybody's set out here. I actually don't have a whole lot of time, but I said I was gonna show you what we're using. So I finally have a good chance to show you. I'm sticking with the Neutrina beef from Tractor Supply. As long as it's a decent quality mineral, that's all I care about. And then this stuff is the flight control. It has Alta-Set in it, which is a growth regulator for flies. Essentially what it does is in the manure pat, it prevents the larva from developing and turning into a fly to help the control of flies. So totally safe to the animal, totally safe to everything, from what I've read and seen. And yeah, as long as it helps knock the population down, that's all that matters. So they'll have plenty of mineral with the salt that's already in the bucket. And then this stuff. And the flies are bad. They suck. And here's Factor. Losing a little bit of weight, but he's been working. He's probably been working a little more than he should. Coming up to the blue water when all the girls are out in the field, just kind of saying, hey, just making sure there's nobody up here. Just making sure. But yeah, he's doing a nice job. No complaints with this guy. All right, so that's all we've got for today. And like I said, I'm kind of running a little behind schedule. We're gonna call this the end of the video. It's the end of the weekend. Happy Father's Day again to all you dads out there, especially my own. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for coming along.